class we discussed the sources of Mauryan history. In that sources of Mauryan history, we discussed about the literary sources. In that literary sources, we completed the archaeological sources. Among the archaeological sources of the Mauryan period, a considerable amount of the numismatics, that means the study of coins. Numismatics also they are also evidences for the knowing of the Indian history. Not only numismatics, but also artifacts and also archaeological excavations. All these are the subjects are available for the archaeological sources. To know the archaeological sources, artifacts and inscriptions, monuments, coins, all these are the sources to know about this archaeological evidences. A large number of silver coins were found during the time of this period. That means Mauryan period. Mauryans, they issued large number of these silver coins. Mauryans silver coins called as pana, and copper coin is called as kakini. For example, according to the Kautilya's Arthashastra, 48,000 panas were given to the one army commander, that is Senapati, but he did not given the information that whether it is for the month or for the year. That was not clear. So pana was the silver coin. And kakini, it was a copper coin, and also it was called as common people coin. This coin is called as the common people coin. So these have been circulated throughout the Mauryan period. The coins provide some knowledge. Coins always give the information of the chronology and also the economical conditions, economic life of the dynasties of the Mauryan period. For example, Chandragupta Maurya, he was depicted standing with a queen, Greek queen. He depicted a Greek queen image on the coins. He issued some coins. So one of his coins represents that a depict of the Greek queen standing posture. That represents, that gives the information. He maintained friendly relations with the Magadha and the Greek. Next, another important archaeological evidences are the Ashoka's edicts. Edicts of Ashoka. Edict means royal order. Edict means royal order. Edict is a royal order. All the Ashokas are the royal orders. That's why Ashoka's inscriptions are called as edicts. Ashoka's edicts in the form of the royal edicts, pillar edicts, or cave inscriptions. These were found in different places in Indian subcontinent. So these edicts, they give a complete information of the Ashoka. In these edicts, Ashoka used a script called Brahmi script. Almost North India, but originally Ashoka used 4 scripts. Ashoka, he used 4 scripts. These 4 scripts were the Greek, Aramic, Kharosthi, and also Brahmi. Greek, Kharosthi, Aramic and Greek, these two are found at only Kandahar inscription. Kandahar inscription is a bilingual inscription, found Greek and Aramic scripts. Kharosthi found only in the northwestern India. Brahmi script found in the entire India. So most of the Indian inscriptions are in the Brahmi script, used the language Prakrut. In India, he used Prakrut. In the northwestern India, he used Greek language and Arabic language. So remember, Asoka used three languages: Greek, Aramic, and Prakrut. Greek, Aramic, Prakrut. These three are the languages used by the Asoka. And he used four scripts: Greek script, Aramic script, Kharoshthi script, and Brahmi script. So he used four scripts, three languages that you have to remember. This Brahmi script was deciphered by James Prinsep in 1837. Decipher means knowing the or reading about the inscriptions. The ancient language is called as decipher. James Prinsep in 1837, he deciphered that inscription. So the majority of the Asoka edicts are mainly Asoka's proclamations. That means Asoka's declarations, whatever he declared to the people, and he ordered to the people to follow. Also Buddhism. Next, another important inscription, what we have to know about the Mauryan period, that was the Junagar rock inscription, which was issued by the Rudradamana. Rudradamana's Junagar rock inscription gives about the construction of Sudarsana Lake. Originally, the Sudarsana Lake was constructed by Chandragupta Maurya. Chandragupta Maurya, he constructed Sudarsana Lake by sending a person called Pushyamitra, his brother-in-law. Pushyamitra was sent to there, and Pushyamitra, he was governor of the northwestern frontier provinces, which were occupied by the Indo-Greek ruler Kandahar, Kabul, Baluchistan, Herat, and also Gujarat areas. Those areas fell under the control of the Pushyamitra as viceroy. So Chandragupta Maurya, he sent Pushyamitra as a viceroy, and Pushyamitra, he constructed Sudarsana Lake in Gujarat. So there, this Sudarsana Lake, Vaishya Pushyamitra, and this Sudarsana Lake, later period, it was repaired by the Rudradamana. Rudradamana, he was Seka ruler. He repaired that inscription. Not only repair of that inscription, but also he gave information of the Mauryans. He also mentioned about the Mauryans. What he mentioned about the Mauryans? Sudarsana Lake was constructed by the Vaishya Pushyagupta. Vaishya Pushyagupta, the name Gupta indicated for the representation of the Vaishya clan, and there is also Vaishya. But this Pushyagupta, he was a brother-in-law of Chandragupta Maurya. That's why Chandragupta Maurya belongs to the Vaishya clan. According to the Junagar rock inscription, Chandragupta Maurya, he originated from the Vaishya clan. That was the information we are knowing from Junagar rock inscription. That lake was repaired by the Rudradamana. He repaired that lake. Some material evidences of that period. Materials such as northern black polished ware. NBPW. They used pottery, NBPW pottery, and the silver punch-marked coins. These are, we can consider as a material evidences. A short description of the Asoka's edicts and its locations. Ashoka's edicts and inscriptions. Coming to the point of the Ashoka's edicts and inscriptions, we will come to that conclusion. Ashoka issued 14 major rock edicts. These 14 major rock edicts found at different places. Ashoka, he issued these inscriptions. This speaks about principles of Dhamma. Ashoka, he founded Dhamma policy. Dhamma policy. To propagate Dhamma policy, Ashoka, he appointed Dhamma Mahamatras, and also Ashoka, he issued inscriptions like orders, like proclamations to follow his Dhamma. These inscriptions were found at Kalsi, Dehradun, Uttarakhand, Manshera, Hazara in Pakistan, Junagadh, Girnar in Gujarat, that is Jaugada, Ganjam district of Orissa, Dauli, that is Puri of Orissa, Yarragudi in Andhra Pradesh, Rajula Mandagiri in Andhra Pradesh, next to Sabarganj in Peshawar of the Pakistan. Like these areas, we will find 14 major edicts. 14 major edicts, we can find all these areas. Next, two Kalinga edicts. A new system of the administration posed in the Kalinga war. Dauli or Toshali, that is one, and Jaugada, that was the another one. Toshali is eastern capital of the Mauryan Empire. Next, major rock edicts of Ashoka. Minor rock edicts of Ashoka. Minor rock edicts of Ashoka speaks about Ashoka and his Dhamma summary. They were found at Brahmagiri in Karnataka, Rupanath in Madhya Pradesh, Siddhapur in Karnataka, Maski in Andhra Pradesh. These areas found minor rock edicts. Babru and Bairat edict. Ashoka getting converted into Buddhism. This is the Babru Bairat edict. It speaks about Ashoka's conversion of the Buddhism. Ashoka received Buddhism by Upagupta. He was a 5 years Buddhist monk, 5 years boy, Buddhist monk. He taught to the Ashoka. Ashoka, because of this Upagupta, he took the Buddhism. Next, pillar edicts of Ashoka. It's coming to the point of the pillar edicts of Ashoka. Ashoka issued 7 pillar edicts. These pillar edicts are appendix to the rock edicts. Allahabad, Rampur, Bihar. And 4 minor pillar edicts were found at Sanchi, Saranath, Allahabad, these areas. This speaks about fantasism towards the Dhamma of Ashoka. 2 Tarai pillar edicts. Ashoka's respect to the Buddhism, found at Lumbini. Cave edicts. 3 Barabar Hill Cave edicts. Barabar Hill Cave edicts were dedicated to the Ajivikas. Ashoka's toleration towards the Ajivika sect. Next, coming to the point of the 14 major rock edicts, what they have the content, one by one. The longest among the 14 major rock edicts are 13th major rock edict in Orissa, that is Kalinga war. It gives the description of the Kalinga war. Edict 1, it prohibits the animal sacrifices. Ashoka, he himself followed this, and later he ordered to the people to follow prohibition of the animal sacrifices for the protection of the animals. That gives the edict 1. And according to some evidences, he allowed only 2 dishes. That is, one is peacock, 2 deers allowed to the royal kitchen. Except peacock and 2 deers to the royal kitchen, he did not allow any animal to kill in the royal kitchen. He himself followed first, then he started to preach the people. Second major edict of the Ashoka, he took several social welfare measures. That means he planted trees, both sides of routes. Ashoka planted trees. He did not planted the plants, he planted the trees directly. Trees were took up with the, roots. First used to construct some tunnel, inserted into the tunnels. So that is like Ashoka, he planted only trees, not the plants. And second major edict also gives the information of the South Indian rulers like Pandya, Chera, Chola. Pandya, Chera, Chola, Satyaputra. So he issued second major edict. He speaks about the South Indian rulers in the second major edict. But all these Pandya, Chera, Chola considered as a Sangam kingdoms, but Satyaputras were not known where they were. According to some historians, Satyaputras were the Salivahanas. They are also Satavahanas, but not exactly correct. Third major edict, it was also gives a tolerance towards the Brahmins. Ashoka ordered to give respect to the Brahmins. Fourth major edict, Ashoka, he says that respect to the elders. All these are the principles of Dhamma. And fifth major edict, he appointed Dhamma Mahamatras to protect Dharma, to continue Dharma, to propagate Dhamma. Here in the fifth major edict, it speaks about Dhamma Mahamatras and their duties. Dhamma Mahamatras and their duties. Every 5 years once they used to transfer from one place to the another place. They have to submit all the records. They are just like executives, present day executives. Sixth major edict, it speaks about orders of the Dhamma Mahamatras. What he gave orders for the Dhamma Mahamatras. And also in the sixth major edict, Ashoka, he addressed the people as oh my children. He addressed people as his children in the sixth major edict of Ashoka. Seventh major edict of Ashoka, need to tolerance among the all religious sects. All religious sects, that is Buddhist, Jains, Ajivikas, Sramanas, Lokayats, that is also called as Charvakas. There were different religious sects of that period. Ashoka, he ordered to give tolerance towards all the other religious sects. Eighth major edict of Ashoka, it speaks about Dhamma Yatras. Following the Dhamma Yatras. Ashoka, he used to conduct the Dhamma Yatras. He himself go to the people. He himself preached to the people about the Dhamma concept. After this ninth major edict, discarded meaningless ceremonies and rituals. Ashoka, he said that there is no real festival to you. Celebration of the festival is unproductive exercise by spending more and more money. Celebration of the rituals, cutting the animals and pouring oil into the, fire cult, and pouring milk into the ears, that is what called as putta ears. All these are the meaningless ceremonies according to the Ashoka. What Ashoka advised? Okay, these are the meaningless. What should we do? we have to give some respect and some time to our dear and near persons. That was the real festival, according to the Ashoka. 10th Mesarak Edict, use of Dhamma instead of war of conquest. This is what called as Dhamma Visaya. Ashoka, he followed Dhamma Visaya, conquest through the peaceful meaning. Conquest through the peaceful means. First, he used to send the letter. With the letter, the person should bend. We cannot say that Ashoka did not conquer any state after the Kalinga war. Ashoka, even though he did not wage the Kalinga war, but he conquered many states even after the Kalinga war. All these are on the name of the Dhamma Visaya. Ashoka followed the Dhamma Visaya. 11th Mesarak Edict of Ashoka, explaining the Dhamma policy. And also it speaks about Ashoka visit to the Bodhi tree. 11th Mesarak Edict, visit of Bodhi tree by Ashoka. Ashoka, he visited Bodhi tree and also he constructed a gold throne under the Bodhi tree where Buddha he enlightened, where Buddha was enlightened. 12th Mesarak Edict of Ashoka speaks about appeal to the all religious sects for tolerance. 13th Mesarak Edict speaks about Battle of Kalinga. And 13th Mesarak Edict also speaks about Andhra Bhrutyas. He mentioned Andhras as Andhra Bhrutyas. And also he mentioned 5 Hellenic kings of that period, Ashoka period. He mentioned the 5 Hellenic kings. The five Hellenic kings Ashoka mentioned in his inscriptions, that is first Antiochus II Theos. He was from Syria ruler. Antiochus II Theos of Syria. Ptolemy II Philadelphus. He was from Egypt. Egypt rulers were called as Ptolemy rulers. Ptolemy II Philadelphus of the Egypt. Magas of Cyrene. And Antigonatus or Antigonus Gonatus of the Macedonia. Alexander of Epirus. These 5 were the Hellenic rulers of Ashoka. Hellenic rulers means contemporary rulers of Ashoka. He mentioned in the 13th Mesarak Edict. 14th Mesarak Edict, inspiring people to spend religious life. He advised to the people how to spend the religious life. And remarkable inscriptions of Ashoka engraved on the rocks and pillars, which notwithstanding the ravages of the time, have supplied us with authoritative details, authoritative things, valuable information. Ashoka edicts were found in the Indian subcontinent and also in Kandahar of the Pakistan. So these inscriptions are in the form of the 44 royal orders, and each royal order have several copies. The inscriptions were composed in the 2 Prakrit languages written in the Brahmi script, that is from left to right. Brahmi is to write from the left to right. Kharosthi is used to write from right to left. In the northwestern frontier provinces, northwestern India, Asoka used Kharosti. He used Kharosti, which is writing from right to left, opposite. And Greek Aramaic also used in the northwestern India. Inscriptions were generally placed on the highways. The people there, where the people are running frequently, walking frequently, gathering frequently. People gathering areas, people going areas are selected by the Asoka, and he issued that inscriptions. They throw light on the career of the Asoka. Asoka's inscriptions throw light on the career of the Asoka, his external and domestic policies and extension of the empire. Lord Cunningham, in 1879, Lord Cunningham, he collected the series of Asoka's inscriptions and also post-Mauryan inscriptions, Gupta inscriptions. He collected series of some inscriptions. Alexander Cunningham, we know that 1861 he established ASI, Archaeological Survey of India in Calcutta. He shifted many inscriptions towards the Calcutta. That is, for example, Allahabad inscription of Asoka, Allahabad inscription of Samudragupta, Allahabad inscription of even Jahangir. These were shifted to the Calcutta by Lord Cunningham. All those were placed at one place. Girnar inscription of the Rudradamana offers some inputs. Provincial administration of the Mauryans. I already told to you Kandahar is a bilingual inscription. Greek version of that inscription, it refers that meat, refrains from the eating meat, and his hunters and fishermen have stopping hunting. Aramaic version, few animals were killed by Asoka. Here fishing was prohibited. Some Buddhist related inscriptions. If you come to the point of the Buddhist related inscriptions, these Buddhist related inscriptions are Babra inscription. Babra inscription mentioned the king of Magadha. Asoka mentioned as a king of Magadha, Magadha Laja. In the Babra inscription, he was called as Magadha Laja. That is in the Prakrit. Prakrit did not spell R. Upatissa also mentioned here. Buddha was mentioned, Rahul was mentioned, Upatissa was also mentioned. He was also called as Upagupta. Rumindai pillar inscription in the 30th year or 13th year of the 11th reign year of the Asoka, he visited Rumindai, that is place of Buddha. And there he exempted people from the collecting the taxes. He allowed only contribution, some fixed contribution, that is 1/8. Attabhagiya. He collected only Attabhagiya. Next to Nigalisagar pillar inscription, Nigalisagar pillar edict. On the 15th year of the reign year of the Asoka, he issued that stupa of Buddha Konakamana was enlarged. Schism edict in Kausambi. There occurred some schism in the Buddhism. Schism means split occurred in the Buddhism. According to the Buddhism split mentioned at Kausambi, that means in the second Buddhist council, Buddhism divided into two parts. Buddhism divided into two groups, Theravadinis and Mahasangikas. Theravadinis and Mahasangikas, that was mentioned here. All dissenting monks and nuns to be expelled and made to wear robes, and the laymen and officials are to be enforced this order or confession. Uposatha days, confession days. Addressed to the officials of the Kausambi and Pataliputra in the Sanchi edict. After that pillar edicts, coming to the point of the Asoka's pillar edicts. First pillar edict of Asoka issued in the 27th regnal year of the Asoka. His principles is protect through Dharma and guard empire with the Dharma. Asoka, he used to say that if you follow Dharma, Dharma will protect you. Second pillar edict speaks about Dharma is having a few drawbacks, but Dharma has many good deeds. Even though if you have very few drawbacks, it gives good deeds. Third third pillar edict of Asoka, notice one's own faults. You have to notice your own faults. Fourth pillar edict of Asoka, appointment of the Rajukas, over hundreds and thousands. Rajukas were the government officers appointed in the provincial level. They were given independent charge, independent authority. These Rajukas were given independent authority to take judgment. They have uniform civil code. There is a uniform civil code. Death penalty extended by 3 days. 15th pillar edict of Asoka speaks about prohibition of killing specific animals, burning the forest. One should not burn the forest. And he gave some special animals not to kill. 25 religious of the prisoners made stars Tissa Punarvasu mentioned on the day of the coronation of Asoka. On the day of the coronation of Asoka, Asoka used to release some prisoners from the prison. Sixth pillar edict mentioned major rock edicts of honor to the all sects. Seventh one, it is the biggest one. Only in the Delhi Topra pillar Rajukas, this is Delhi Topra pillar shifted to Delhi by the Firoz Shah Mehta. Rajukas, Ajivikas, Nigrantas. Nigrantas means that is Jains. They are also called Jains were mentioned. Dharma is better advanced by persuasion than by the legislation. Musky Edict discovered in 1915. Musky Edict discovered in Karnataka. It mentioned the name of Asoka. Asoka's personal name was mentioned only in 2 inscriptions, Musky and Gujjara. Musky and Gujjara inscriptions. The Topra Meerut inscriptions were shifted to Delhi by the Firoz Shah Tughlaq, who ruled India in 1351 to 1388, this period. After the Muhammad bin Tughlaq, he ruled India. He shifted that and he wanted to translate into Persian language, but he failed to translate because he did not understood. Later period, James Prinsep understood the Asoka's inscriptions. Kausambi pillar inscription, already we discussed that, shifted to Calcutta by Jahangir. Bairat inscription brought to the Allahabad by the Cunningham. 2 major rock edicts, Mansehra and Sabarganj, are in the Kharosthi script. These 2 are in the Kharosthi script. Kandahar is bilingual, that is in Greek and Aramaic. Most of the Asoka's edicts are written in the Brahmi script. The language used in Asoka's edicts, except Kandahar, is Prakrit. Only in the Kandahar he used bilingual, in other places he used Prakrit. The inscriptions in fragmentary conditions were found at Lampak or Lamgan in Aramaic, that was written in the Aramaic. In all the edicts except Musky edict, Asoka refers himself by the title Devanam Piya Priyadas. all the edicts, they mention that Devanam Priya Priyadasi, but only in the Musky edict mentioned as Asoka, the name of the Asoka. Allahabad inscription brought from Kausambi contains inscriptions of the Samudragupta also. Samudragupta inscription. Jahangir also. Total number of the pillar edicts is 13. Originally total number are 13. They are inscribed in 10 pillars. Out of 13, 7 are major pillar edict, 4 are the minor pillar edicts. 2 are the commemorative pillar edicts. Like that, we can divide the pillar edicts. One of the 4 main pillar edicts, minor pillar edicts, known as the Queen Edict at Allahabad. Only Allahabad inscription gives the what is that queen, the name of the queen. She was Karwaki. Karwaki, only one queen of Asoka mentioned in his inscriptions. Schism Edict, one each are found at Allahabad, Sanchi and Saranath. These are the schism edicts. The commemorate pillar edicts were found at Rumindai and Nigalisgar in both are there in the Nepal. 7th pillar edict is the longest among all the pillar edicts. The Allahabad pillar edicts contains the first 6 pillar edicts. Queen Edict, wholesome schism edict, for Prasasti of Samudragupta, written by Harisena. Some decrees of the Jahangir also there in that. Kharoshthi script was derived from the Persian and Aramic. Asoka's favorite to the Ajivikas, that was from the Barabar hill cave inscriptions. Asoka Vadana was the personal name of Asoka and Priyadasi was the title that was given by B.S. Smith. The name of Asoka we can find at Musky and Gujjara edicts. Asoka freed prisoners on the occasion of this coronation. All this we discussed, that was mentioned in the Pillar Rock Edict. Pushyagupta, the provincial governor of Saurashtra, was the brother-in-law of Chandragupta Maurya. We are knowing from the Junagadh rock inscription. Yes, this is about the archaeological sources, what we are knowing about the Mauryan says. In the last video, we discussed the literary evidences. Now we discussed about the archaeological sources. Okay, good luck.